I heard this story directly from Reb David Orlevsky, who's the Rosh Yeshiva of Gerem Mesivta Bais Yisrael, a personal friend of myself, my family, for many, many decades, and a mechanech par excellence. Everybody knows Reb David Orlevsky, very chashuv person. One of the most famous mechanechim of the last generation was Reb Eisener. Reb Eisener. Reb Gadol. He was affectionately known as Gadol, or Reb Gadol. He was my father's Rebbe in Lodz. He was already a mechanech before the war in Lodz in Poland. After the war, he was a famous mashgiach ruchni of Geri Yeshiva, Yeshivas Chedush Yarim in Tel Aviv. He was the mechanech in the generation that witnessed the destruction of Polish Jewry in general and Polish Hasidus, Gera Hasidus in particular, and the miraculous rebirth of Yiddishkeit in general and Gera Hasidus in particular. The Bais Yisrael, the Ger Rebbe, was both his Rebbe and his boss. And those of you who know about the Bais Yisrael, he was extremely sharp, and what he said, you did. Everybody listened to whatever the Bais Yisrael ever said, ever. And once the Bais Yisrael sent a message to Rav Gadol that there's a certain boy in Yeshiva in Chedush Yarim that you have to send away. For whatever reason, he said you have to send him away. News got back to the Rebbe a few weeks later, the boy's still in Yeshiva. So he sent another message to Rav Gadol, this boy you have to send out of Yeshiva. Still, Rav Gadol did not throw the boy out. A few weeks later, Rav Gadol came to Yerushalayim. He was in Chedush Yarim, was in Tel Aviv. He came to Yerushalayim, he went to the Rebbe for Shabbos, and the Bais Yisrael called him in. And he tells him, I sent you a few messages to throw this boy out of Yeshiva, and you didn't listen to me? Rav Gadol said, I did listen to you. The Rebbe said, but I told you to throw out the boy. Rav Gadol said, I did throw him out. The Rebbe said, so he's not in Yeshiva anymore? Rav Gadol said, he is in Yeshiva. So the Bais Yisrael said, so how could you say you threw him out if he's still in Yeshiva? Rav Gadol explained to the Rebbe, we first have to know a little bit. In Hilchas Shabbos, it says it's something called Yitzia. Yitzia means when you carry something out of Rosh Hashanah to Rosh Hashanah, from private property to public property. Hachnasa means you carry something in from Rosh Hashanah, from public property, into Rosh Hashanah. So we have in Hilchas Shabbos, Yitzia and Hachnasa. Said Reb Gadol, the Gemara, and Shabbos says in Abayz and Bais, Yitzia is HaShabbos Shtayim Shehin Arba. There's two kinds of Yitzias that are really four. And then the Gemara says, what are the two that are four? Yitzias Tarte Haven, Shtayim the Hoitza, V'Shtayim the Achnasa. The four kinds of Yitzias are the two that are Lagabe Hoitza and the two that are Lagabe Achnasa of bringing in. Frek the Gemara, V'Yitzias Ktani, V'Lo Yitzi doesn't say Yitzias Achnasa, it says Yitzias. So again, the Mishnah says there are four kinds, basically four kinds of Yitzias. And one of the Tana says, how do you have four? There's two Yitzia and two Achnasa. The Gemara says, so why are you calling it? It says Yitzias. It doesn't say Yitzias and Achnasa. Amar Rav Ashi, Tana, this Tana, Achnasa nami Hoitza karle. He calls Achnasa bringing in, he also calls it Hoitza. So when it says there's four kinds of Hoitza, it includes the two of Yitzias and the two Achnasa. Said Reb Gadol, I hold like this Tana. I also pass in like this Tana, that the Yitzia, that Achnasa nami Hoitzar Karle, that the Rebbe said to throw him out, I did throw him out. I was Yoitza, what the Rebbe told me, because you could be Yoitza throwing a kid out of yeshiva with Achnasa, with bringing him close to me. I was Makar of him, I brought him closer to me, and with that I was Yoitza Yitzia. And the Bais Yisrael accepted that. So we see a new pshat. We should never throw a kid out of yeshiva. There's so many things that you can do. But chas v'shalom, push comes to shove, and you really, that's it. You have to throw him out of yeshiva. There's a way to be yotzeh. Achnasa. We have to pass him like Rav Ashi that says that Tana Achnasa nami yotzeh karale. Pilei plan. That's a mechanech. That's a mechanech that refuses to give up on his Talmud. That his boss tells him, you got to fire him. He'll find a pshat in the Gemara. He'll find a way. I'll be yotzeh a different way. The Bais Yisrael, nobody messed around with the Bais Yisrael. Nobody defied the order of the Bais Yisrael. And he risked his job and his Rebbe because he found another way to be yotzeh the Rebbe's words. Unbelievable.